Alright, here we go. We're back. We're in this, yeah, Gregson. Shit. Let's actually have a look around, shall we? Somebody's very haphazardly nailed these boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. More of a window than that, yeah, that's true. This one still does at least let some light in. You could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Mr. Natsume now. Mr. Natsume didn't even have a broken window. Hey, at least, matter of being smothered by carbon monoxide or letting the winter air in through a perpetually broken window. Top of one of the candles in this candle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, there's wax splattered on the wall behind. Look, it's supposed if a bullet had hit it. It does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Now that waxed wall looks like blood to me. Candelabrum. Top of one of the candles appears to have been blown off. Red? Since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh! Funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is! It is! A bright red hairpiece. And I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to expect that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it? And in such a flame-colored red, too. Where have we heard something about red-headed? Yeah. Yes, that's a color we come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it. I have a note about the Red-Headed League, yep. So I suppose this is where the victim... That's right. The rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Poor Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. It would probably be under Dr. Sith's scalpel by now if not for what happened last week. And the shape of the rope. It would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. That's sad. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Look like you've just seen a ghost. No, it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality. Susato-san is so strong, though. She's taking this far better than I am. What is this? A toy soldier? Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way. Seeing as it's on the floor here, I think it belonged to Inspector Gregson. It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zieks playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It would have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful, after all. In a way. Huh. Small and rather endearing model of a British policeman. There we go. Now we can rotate. Helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled. Almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around and around too? For fun? What? Ah! What's that? Wait, there appears to be some sort of key. But it's tiny, though. It couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder? Ooh. Sneaky. Gun? This is presumably the murder weapon, then. Oh my. It is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot. No! No! If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. It's something safer just to ask someone who might know, I think. Alright. Like Gina. Excuse me. If you're looking down on us from the great beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard. Entrapped with some deep thoughts there. Understandable. Have a good day. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Can't see a thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Right. Perhaps I better leave you to your work, then. What? Hello. Oh, there we go. Alright. Who's this? Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah! What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are. Look, Mr. Naruhodo, quickly. Who is it? What? Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning. Ah! It's Mrs. Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say, I have no idea either. Huh. Was Mrs. Vigil in her younger years? Stool? Excuse me? Oh, it's you. Oh, Inspector. Oh, it's, Poor man, he can't possibly be able to focus on the investigating while he's so upset. What's on the corkboard? It's like some sort of notice board or something. It's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, look! This, you mean? It's an autopsy report, isn't it? And these are case notes here, and details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, they're all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, and this one here. Oh yes, the advertisement, you mean. To the red-headed lead. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was very clearly interested in it for some reason. Mrs. Vigil's husband and Gregson. Mrs. Vigil's husband being a former, prison super. Empty fireplace makes a room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust. Look. I think it would be fair to say that it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Nobody lived here at all, and really visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. What do you make of this? Gina, what do you make of this? What is that? Evidence? Work something out. Yeah. Work something out about what happened, have you? Oh, no, not exactly. I ain't been long enough in the job to get all this deducting business yet. I swear I'm gonna get the person what did this to the boss. Oh. Gina, look at this, huh? Oh? Okay, so we're getting to this, Gina. Fair enough. Do your best, Gina. Chief Warder. Ah. Hopefully we visit this place for some time. What do we have to gain from this? You've made good time. Took an express train back to London. Is this? You're Lord Strongheart, can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Kazuma! Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train so I could check all the paperwork. It's... Kazuma-sama! Ah, your timing's impeccable. Release the birds. It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devil. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zieks could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zieks for this crime. You must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh no, surely not! It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow the Forensic Science Symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable process. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Kazuma. Ah, but of course, you've already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings. Leading the prosecution. Wait. What? Kazuma? As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law. Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor. Oh boy. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no, people all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Right so, the public want answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths. But Lord Van Zieks firmly denies any involvement in such matters. And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been, at least until now. Ah. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. This reeks of a cover-up. So, Cosmo will be prosecuting tomorrow. That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart. He's been... Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. I mean, he has been apprenticing. He did have amnesia, but he has been apprenticing under the Reaper. And imagine what it will mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. No doubt at all that Cosmo will be razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Cosmo-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain. It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial. You asked for this? But why? It'll all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Well, the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. I'm surprised such a personal request would be upheld. Seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact. Susato's so damn sharp. You are quite right, Miss Mikitoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. Ah. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors. The pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as the judiciary closing ranks. Well, that's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution. Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months. Cosmo, I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Yeah, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Inspector Gregson's death. Do you know if it belongs to Lord Van Zieks? That would be a question for the lead detective investigating this scene. Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure. So she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know. That's right, Mr. Naruhodo. Be direct. It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes. Which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine. That case could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Zieks? Claimed it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious. Just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, it's no proof that it's actually his. No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zieks. I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be all right now. So remember, he completely returned. Yes, completely. Remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do. Oh, right. Cosmo-sama, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me. But there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our empire's history. There's much you could learn. The gallery. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
What? Kazuma? Before you go, Ryunosuke. Oh, what is it, Kazuma? Just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama? What? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh. Oh? I actually have a favor to ask. Which is? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. Right in front of me. As the defense counsel. Why? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Zieks would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. Oh, that's... Look at that smile. And Gregson, too. That's Lord Van Zieks and Inspector Gregson. Is that Clint? A photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. And who's the third person? It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. In Gregson's office, you mean? Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? It's up to something. Oh, hi. Hello, Baruch. Lord Van Zieks is still reading that letter. We've gone quite some time, though. He's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. Might even be able to read English faster than he can. Or he's just rereading it. I was intending to ignore you entirely. I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting meeple needs. Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that. I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow. Just none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. In other words, no. I'm just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I'd expect nothing less. Well, I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Asogi. Asogi? The color drained from his face. Well then. Seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. "10 years ago, my older brother, who was the director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. The killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asogi. Genshin Asogi was Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? Man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. Still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. No doubt he knew of the young man's true identity from the outset. What could he have been hoping to achieve? Let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to someone like that? Asogi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. Bane that is you Nipponese. Right, your hatred of all of us Japanese. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer. A so-called professor. Assigned to the investigation as his partner, a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard. And that was Genshin Asogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. Shit. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted in Sogi's trial. It wouldn't have ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. What do you mean by that, the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the professor case inquiry. Lord Mael Strongheart. Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted. Well, well. Yeah, so the professor trial was, Van Zieks' case 1. I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? Ah! And of all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing of us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical. For so many years, that hatred has festered inside. I could no longer control it. I can understand why, now I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life. Kazuma Asogi, I am the bane of his. Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. You can acknowledge that. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month. He'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yeah, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? What was that about? I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean? It's the first time I've ever encountered it. Oh. Curious to know why. The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. Can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. Sounds like that mysterious, even the Reaper perplexed. Afraid to say, you were very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. hear that he was considered something of a legend at the Scotland Yard. Oh, Gregson theme. Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. God, how much of this goes right back to the professor? How many careers were made off of the professor? Yours, Van Zieks? Strongheart was tied to it? God, how many people's lives did that case touch? So this led to the rise of Gregson. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. What sort of approach? My brother's life was taken. The inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago. Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time and rarely performed. My brother was, of course, a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable. Something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determine it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, it could avenge my brother's death. So, you had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. It's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I don't have confidence in anyone. Oh. I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London. What really went on between Lord Van Zieks and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of their relationship? How'd your gun? How'd the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene? Ah, yes, that's not mine. Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That, I don't know. Oh! It was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. Must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Left it somewhere, perhaps. You have something in common with Lord Van Zieks after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things. Oh no! This has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Oh dear. The rift is very wide, isn't it? Though not decisive evidence, clearly. Doesn't look good, that's for sure. Alright, something. Need two. Let's show you this. Lord Van Zieks, you came by this old photograph. Look at this photograph. Where'd you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the man on the left there? Yes, that's my brother, Clint. Had to be, really. Same double algae. Apparently this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense. No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less. Well, maybe once, yes. There was a time things were like that. We're brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such lofty subject matters. It was a nice glimpse of the past. I thank you. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past then, too. There's a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle. insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey. It's just a big frickin' mask built up over years. Trauma and distrust, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, first time he's ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? You. That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. Simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zieks? From the very first time we clashed at the Bailey almost a year ago now. I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here's a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. Ooh. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. If one of them is Genshin Asogi, I'm going to be very feared. My brother, Clint. And Genshin Asogi. Yep, shit. And the idolized the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me. You mean, this one? Back then I was able to laugh. I was free of the shackles of mistrust that plague me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, I have protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. At times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Of course I will. It will be an honor. Oh, I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo. Then my life is in your hands. For Lord Van Zieks, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. It is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow, the Old Bailey, against my old friend, Cosma. What a turn of fate. It's that old familiar feeling again. Crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's even more menacing tension in the air. There's a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there? I suppose. Yes, I think so. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. A little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected. Trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. A closed court. Hey, Holmes. Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Holmes. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I forgot. I completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ha! What's one man is a little hair problem. It's to another day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. I've no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And are you? I see London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there's at least one point in which I would readily commend you. What an honor. And that would be your eye for a good lawyer, sir. Mr. Sholmes! After all, behind this lawyer there is a very great mind. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Oh boy. Oh, it's barge in. Oh. Gina! What's that on her arm? It's a mourning band, I suppose. Oh. Father! Shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Otto. Yes, Gina? Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper bloke. Everyone says it was him what killed the boss. I'm sorry, Gina. I just don't believe that. But if it weren't him, who was it? I don't know that. Yet. I don't care who calls him what. Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. It turns out it was him what killed the boss. And God help him. I'm right here. Fair enough. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing. Eh? At least that may be some solace to the deceased. Oh. Please, Otto. Get whoever did this. For the boss. Oh, Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. You gotta find who's done this and make the wretch pay. Onto for the defense and the defendant. We'll be in session shortly. Make way to the court at once, please. Oh boy. Alright then, here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Zieks. Closed court. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. One who lost the man who helped her escape destitution. That misfortune, that pain, on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine light on all these dark events. Hi, Sholmes. Whatever truth is revealed, I'm going to have to look it straight in the eye. Judge. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Baruch van Zieks. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Oh, Kazuma-sama. Been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... Never pictured it happening like this. Never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. The so-called Reaper of the Bed. It's been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind the scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than the Inspector Gregson's murder. The truth revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary. Only they are to be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present. Her Majesty's direct orders, but was look at all these people in the gallery. How would that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the jurors' bench shall remain vacant today. If no members of the public are present, may I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord? We are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Oh, okay. Members of the judiciary? Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already. There's of course another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings, on which I must elaborate. Counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens of Great Britain. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Kazuma. Very well, let us commence proceeding. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. Ooh. The incident took place on the 1st of November, just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. And yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of his country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. He keeps saying miraculous resolution. I keep feeling concerned. Professor Case. How sure are you at the time of this incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported at the same time. Yes, that's what Gina told us too. A number of witnesses. I have here a plan of the room. Ooh. There. It was found caught up in one corner. It's believed he was shot in the front, point-blank range, and died instantly. How was the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Which marks were caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. Powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. He managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm. No, my lord. Not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-sama. We're not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. The candelabra mounted on that wall. The tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. You noticed that too, didn't you? Yes, that's right. Thank you for the thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. Feels like there's an upward trajectory then, isn't it? You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone. That's Gregson, British, time of death. Mariah Gorey. Time of death blank. Don't issue member of the judiciary, fair enough. Labrum. Up over here. There is precious little furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some case or another. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. Uh-oh. Attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. No. So, Merry Christmas, Mr. Edgeworth. So the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Name, please, counsel. Naturally. The accused himself. Oh boy! Lord Van Zieks? As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of the office he's taken, and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well, let the defendant take the witness stand. This is certainly unconventional. Sir, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Earl Van Zieks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Van Zieks, that you heard Prosecutor Asogi's opening praises. I did. It's alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime. That you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. And I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room in Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place. I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Van Zieks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come, since you became known as the Reaper. And part of me has been dreading it. Your formal testimony then, witness. Alright. Let's see where this goes. I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside, and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked up the firearm to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It's only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. Huh. That testimony was the whole truth. It was. So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right, you haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yet it turns out you have a way with words. Prosecutor Asogi. It would appear to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's got into Cosma? He's not behaving like himself at all. We know exactly what's happening. Revenge. He hates this man. Very well, then. Consul, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Alright, Van Zieks. Let's see what the fuck just happened. were investigating the inspector. What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry? Identified as a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is the court to understand that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No. I was privy to his movements in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Van Zieks? I was aware of the possible consequences. So, in summary, you were investigating the victim. And yet, you refused to tell the court why. Sassy, Yasugi. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Why did I ever think I could defend this man? So at least what we can divulge from that is that the room is not Gregson's entirely. He had a meeting scheduled there.
Hold it!
Had you ever been to the address before? No, never. I only learned of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. But at 5 p.m. the sun would only just have gone down. It would still have been reasonably light outside. The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside. It was extremely murky outside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Lamp? Gregson. There was a small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember. There was an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph. Yeah, the diagram of the room feels much bigger than the room as we saw it in the investigation. Although that's just the angle, I suppose. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started toward the desk to investigate. And what did you find? Nothing. Never actually reached the desk.
Hold it!
So, who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anyone else in the room. But you say it was very dark in there. Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is I didn't sense another's presence. Then could it be? Did the gunshot actually originate from somewhere outside the room? No, that's not out of the question. Oh. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. You could smell the gunpowder. This is going from bad to worse. And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor. Correct. I foolishly picked it up. It was carelessness on my part. Presumably, then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hesitantly took into your hands. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold. There was no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired? Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. I, too, would dearly like to know that.
Hold it!
A man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume? That's right. one of the street merchants working on Fresno Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. Directly beneath, huh? A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot. Without thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she? They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. It almost gave me a heart attack in the process. You're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. A policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion. Was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Anyway, the man's scream drew my attention in that direction.
Hold it!
What did you mean by that? What way did the body appear? Honestly, can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point, and then suddenly, there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand? At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Mike, most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere, I have no idea.
Objection!
Surely the court has heard enough. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Baroque Van Zieks, is lying on multiple fronts. Oh? What? Oh no! Dramatic theme reprise! What is that supposed to mean? Good gracious, counsel. Vent is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. It's proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly of a different length. Yes, I can see that only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long. You could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together. It begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. The other two kept burning? Must be that particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. The other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum, and the accused's claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now to the next lie. A Sogi objection theme. There's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. It's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings. Yes, that's right. We saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar. There's a common thread linking all the documents on that board. Indeed? What is this common thread, counsel? They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Baroque Van Zieks. All of them? And furthermore, all those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord! Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today. as all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Ah! Oh no. In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout, its base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? That's not conclusive. Yet the Reaper would claim never to have been to his own secret hideout. No one would believe that. No, the truth is, we've been looking at this backwards. Backwards? Explain, Counsel. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. He discovered the location of the man's secret hideout. He was killed, as I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. Huh? What? Come on, Naruhodo. Order! 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 Very well, I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Rogue Van Zieks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with Prosecutor Asogi's contention that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Cosmo's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case. It's formidable. Counsel, you submit the board that you just showed to the court as evidence. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. And now, the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Oh, okay. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago was browning with age, look. What of interest? The most recent thing appears to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out. And do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene, too. Is Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League, then? Oh, hello. Bosses Los. Oh, what's this? Mr. Naruhodo, look! Oh yeah, a smudge of some kind. In fact, looks just like a handprint. And the color. That's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. It is who saw events unfold on that day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went running into the room. Very well, lead the witnesses in. Defendant may step down from the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. Well, oh my gosh. So, witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. We are just free and easy. So what we like, live where we like to live. I give them all a vacant stare as they walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Ah, maybe right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street. Ah, everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know. Jaunty little tidbits? What an absolute smasher for you, sir. What up your killer it is. 6 pence the price and not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now. No, come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Try the man. Give him the money and see what it is. Pay the man, cat. What? All right. 6 pence it is. You won't regret it, sir. Now, got your listening ears on. It's between us. Young copper on Slide Street just had twins. I want my money back. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? Wants to spread. That bit's up to you and your mouth, of course. What more you know? Want another juicy one? Sixpence apiece it is, if you're curious. I am curious, yes, about what's going on just under that bottom lid of yours. That unusual bruise, whatever it is poking out from under your collar. Oh my. What the next witness then? What name do you go by and what do you sell? Me. I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, innit? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. Cute. Oh boy. 6 pence a pop. What do you say? Oh boy. Smooth. You weren't exaggerating with the little. They actually sell? Oh yeah. The second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Yeah. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? Want a pop with 6 pence for a pop? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you blow up the whole courtroom. Try the woman. No! Bonnie and see she's right, no! Right, the woman counsel. Wait a right, I'll buy one. Lovely stuff. Right then, there's something a bit extra just for you. The Venus special. Only 600 pence. What? That's terrifying. 600? It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the whole Bailey either. Okay. We got the Venus special. My paycheck. And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell? I think all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am, therefore I think. Because I stand there on the street, watching the world go on about me, they call me the observator. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls you sandwich and you know it. So, you don't actually sell anything? Problem shared is the problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and think what that means. I don't actually sell anything. No, come to think of it. Pity. More purchases today, please. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always at the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. I see, and thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witnessed the crime. Well, I'll be beggared, I thought, just between us. Venus de Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. What I think is, if what we see is light and shadow, playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these 3 witnesses now. We will do that next time, though.